Michael Stetz with MMADieHards. I'm here in Columbus, Ohio at the Arnold's convention with Strikeforce heavyweight Daniel Cormier. Daniel, still no word. How's the injury doing with your hand and everything from the last fight with Silva?
It was slow, but now it's finally healed. You know, I'm ready to start training now and preparing for my fight. It took some time, but it's healed now, so that's a good thing.
And talk about the opponent you're going to face in the Grand Prix final, Josh Barnett, and what the dangers possess for you in that fight.
It's a dangerous fight. You know, Josh Barnett is one of the best fighters in the world for a really long time. He's a strong wrestler, great jiu-jitsu, catch wrestling. A lot of traps in that fight. I've got to be prepared to fight everywhere and be aware in all positions.
Obviously a great wrestler yourself, and you're prepared to go against his. And talk to us about how you feel that your wrestling will go against his catch wrestling, and where you can stand in that fight. And also, you're very much improved stand-up, and I would think you would think it was a great compliment. But I heard a lot of people after your last fight say that they compared you to really Fedor, the way you're casting overhand right hands and kicks, and you're improved striking. So talk about that.
Yeah, that's a great comparison. Anytime you get compared to Fedor, you embrace it. I love it. I mean, if you want to compare me to the greatest heavyweight of all time, that's fine by me. Wrestling, you know, a lot of times when you get two guys that can wrestle, they cancel each other off, and then it becomes a stand-up fight. I think I'm okay. I'm okay with that. You know, I want to stand. I want to wrestle. I want to use my wrestling offensively. You know, I don't want him to dictate how the fight takes place. I don't want him to be able to take me down. So I got to use my wrestling to dictate the pace of the fight and how the fight plays out.
And let's rewind it a little bit before you got the chance to get into the finals. You fought your fight, you know, and you're one of the alternates for the Grand Prix, and Overeem leaves, and now you get thrown into the fight with Silva, into the semifinals with a huge opportunity, and you cashed in on opportunity greatly, got yourself into the final. But talk about being one of the alternates, and all of a sudden here you are in the semis, getting ready to fight for the belt.
It was intense, you know, but we prepared for it. You know, I had fought twice that year, right alongside the tournament, and when I got the opportunity, you know, I said, you know what, man, I've got to cash in, because otherwise you're just a footnote, you know, in the tournament's history. So I cashed in, fought hard, fought well, exceeded expectation, you know, in that fight. I didn't anticipate it going like that, but I gladly accepted. As I move forward into Josh's fight, I'm just going to prepare, and hopefully it plays out the same way.
I'm sure you love hearing that highlight call from Mauro Ranallo, though. That can't be too bad to hear.
No, it was awesome. You know, Mauro gets really excited, and when you see a guy that's not supposed to win, and it's kind of in there, and the underdog does a good job, it's hard not to get behind that guy in that moment. You know, those guys are non-biased, but in that moment, it's hard not to get behind the guy when you see something like that happen.
And I'm sure, like most fighters, I'm sure you tell me you don't look too far ahead, but I'm sure you got to be thinking, now that they dissolved the heavyweight division in Strikeforce, ahead to the UFC, and how you would fare against that competition in the heavyweight division over there.
You know, they took a lot of the mystery out of it by saying we're all going to the UFC, so there's really no big rush for me. The Strikeforce guys have all won, so obviously we're fighting some high-level competition in Strikeforce. You know, I don't know who's lost, you know, especially in the heavyweight division. So I'm excited to get over there to show. Obviously, anybody that fights at the high level wants to fight at the highest level. UFC has the brightest lights, most fans. And obviously I want to be a part of that at some point, but there's no rush. You know, I've been in Strikeforce since day one, and they've been great to me.
And you've also said that you would never face your opponent, if he was your opponent, excuse me, and your training partner, Cain Velasquez. Can you touch on that for us? I
said, you know, it's a decision that we'd have to make as a team. You know, Cain and I share management, we share a gym, but for a championship, I mean, you have to really think about it. You know, I said I would much rather fight John Jones at the weight division below, but for a championship, you have to consider it. You know, you have to consider it. We both want to be champion, and we discuss it as a team and see how we go forward. I would prefer not to fight him, but we all want to be champions.
Well, Daniel, best of luck in that heavyweight final against Josh Barnett. We very much look forward to seeing it. Thanks for a few minutes, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.